Good morning again. Welcome to Healing Life Fellowship Church. Thank you for joining us on Father's Day. To all the dads, I want to say Happy Father's Day to you. Today, we're going to talk about dads. Fair warning, for the next 20 minutes, you're going to be subjected to dad jokes. This isn't meant to be sour grapes, but I'm going to say dads don't get enough credit. Moms usually get all the kudos. You don't see athletes mouthing, "Hi, Dad." Nobody ever gets a heart tattoo with "Dad" on it. Mother's Day became an official holiday in 1914 and caught on right away. It's always the second Sunday in May. Father's Day became an official holiday when President Richard Nixon signed a proclamation in 1972, making the third Sunday in June Father's Day. One survey ranks Mother's Day number 2 behind Christmas. So you have Jesus, Mom. Father's Day ranks somewhere down below around the equivalent of Pirates Day. Yes, that is a thing. So dad joke number 1. One year my kids got me a pen that could write underwater. Fortunately for me, it was able to write other words too. Feel free to roll your eyes. So today, we're going to give Dad a little credit. Guys, I'm going to take a bullet here for you today, and we're going to go over some dad rules that you guys have been itching to say for years and just couldn't do it. Keep in mind, this is satire, folks. Okay. So rule number 1 is, whenever possible, only speak to us during commercials. Yes and no are perfectly acceptable answers to almost every question you ask us. Shopping is not a sport, and we are never going to look at it that way. Speaking of sports, rule number 4 is Sunday is sports day. Let it be. If something we said can be taken 2 ways, and one of the ways makes you angry, we meant the other one. We will never run into the room and ask if we can watch the Lifetime channel. Anything we said more than a month ago is inadmissible in an argument. In fact, all past comments become null and void after 7 days. Our color palette is like a Windows default setting. Pumpkin and peach are fruits, not colors. And we have no idea what color hibiscus is. We are not lost, we are just taking the scenic route. Christopher Columbus did not need directions, and neither do we. Dads, you're welcome. So how do dads create a balanced life, and what is that anyway? A balanced life consists of work, family, time for you, and faith. Sometimes we may spend too much time on one and neglect the others. Work demands may leave little time for other important activities, and this may create personal and family conflicts. So we need to find that balance. A balanced life means having to do the things you want, having time to do the things you want. You won't dread going to work. You'll have quality time with friends and family. You'll have time to take care of your physical and mental health. You're likely to get less burned out. You'll feel less stressed, and your health will improve. Sounds like a lot of hard work finding this balance stuff, doesn't it? And it can be. But a healthy balance is good for not only you, it's good for your family. Dads, we were given a very special gift, and your leadership begins within the walls of your home. Our children will often not remember what we said. They will often not remember the little and big things we do. But they're always going to remember how we lived. Children should not be left alone to figure it out on their own. They need a role model. That role model, you, should be engaged, active, motivating, encouraging, and inspiring. I'm sure everyone here has heard the phrase, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. How our children react, speak, act, and behave is learned by watching our parents. If you sit around all day expecting someone to wait on you, can't even take out the trash, your son will probably grow up doing the same thing. I know there's a lot of old school people out there who think dads are supposed to make the money and mom is supposed to raise the kids. I remember one day while we were having a get-together at our home, and I was standing at the sink doing dishes with my wife, and somebody was standing by the breakfast bar and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm helping with the dishes." And he said, that's not guys' work. And my response was, real men don't care what everybody else thinks. Okay? I actually enjoy working in the kitchen. I don't mind cooking. I cook the majority of meals at home, and I'm happy to do it. One of my favorite things to cook is alligator. I make it in a crock pot. I warn you. So the do as I say mentality, not as I do, doesn't work. What they see you do, they'll want to do. Actions are powerful, and so are words. Words can either build you up, tear you down. I can't tell you enough how important your words are when you're raising children to be honest, dependable, productive members of society. When they're young, they hang on every word. So it's in our best interest and theirs to choose your words carefully. It's a nice way of saying think before you speak. Our families look to us for guidance and support. Being a dad's hard work. Every man who fathers a child has a moral and sacred responsibility to their son or daughter. A dad's involvement or lack thereof can have effects for years. Children who have fathers who are active in their lives have a better chance of excelling academically, emotionally, and socially. In my research for my talk, I was on a website called The Fatherless Generation. This lady named Sabrina, which is the only name we had for her, was doing a thesis, and these are the stats that she came up with. 63% of youth suicides are from homes without fathers. 90% of homeless and runaway kids are from fatherless homes. 85% show behavioral disorders. 71% are high school dropouts. 75% of adolescent patients in chemical abuse centers are from fatherless homes, as well as 85% of the youths in prison. That's some pretty horrible stats when you look at it. So you can see that the role of being a dad is pretty important. So you not only provide food, shelter, material needs, you also must provide discipline, reassurance, spiritual guidance. Dads who are engaged in some type of spiritual practice are more likely to be involved with children. So not only do your children benefit, so do you. Seems like we're going through a never-ending health crisis. Just when one pandemic ends, another one starts. Over the last few years, people have been unable to go to work, and income and families have been affected. So we have to learn to be flexible. As a parent, you must learn how to bend without breaking. As we go through life, we're going to experience problems. We're going to go through hard times. Many of us have. Like the saying goes, we got to be like a Timex watch, take a licking, keep on ticking. I'm sure we've all heard the phrase, God will never give us more than we can handle. No one is immune to hard times, including my family. We too have dealt with sickness, death, heartbreak, just like everyone else. James chapter 1, verses 2 to 4. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds. You know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. When bad things happen, we're forced to get out of our comfort zone. It's in times of crisis, dads, we have the opportunity to stand up, change the world, transform lives. So, Dad, what's your legacy going to be? Is your legacy going to be your family history? Or is your legacy going to be things you've accomplished and a list of lessons you've passed down? Dad, it's important that we live our life in such a way that when we're gone, we're not remembered for making a living, but for making a difference. We're not going to get it right every time. And that's okay. We're human. We're going to make missteps every so often. No one is perfect. What they'll remember is your guidance, your love, and your support. I remember when my kids were small, they got me, I don't remember if it was a coffee cup or a plaque that said, "World's Best Dad." So there's obviously a lot of sarcasm in my family. The comedian Steve Martin was quoted as saying, "A dad is someone who carries pictures where his money used to be." So dads, be proud of your sons, cherish your daughters, and if you have a spouse, be grateful. Every day on the earth plane, God has given us the privilege of breathing in and out. We have the opportunity to go out in the world to encourage and enlighten those we care about. Dads, parents, moms too, your legacy is not going to be determined by the car you drive, the job you have, the square footage of your house, or what's in your bank account. It will be determined by every smile you've shared, every tear you've dried, every time you've lent an ear, and every time you've tried to heal a broken heart. So to all the dads, single parents that fill the dad role, future dads, wannabe dads, all those who step up to the plate, thank you. I will leave you today with a verse from Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Happy Father's Day. Thank you for listening. I hope you have an amazing day.